Well, everybody, I'm Cantonese Cat. Hey, everybody, Cantonese Cat here, GME, daily chart. Gonna put up the Bollinger Band here. You can see how it's still squeezing, but it's starting to expand here a little bit. Looks like Price wants to get on the upper Bollinger Band. It was a little bit outside of the Bollinger Band yesterday. It looks like we're just basically closing back inside. This feeling really does look like, you have tight squeeze and you're starting to have a little tiny bit of expansion. It really starting to look what it looks like, what it's looked like over here before it exploded up. So I wonder whether or not maybe at the end of this week or early next week you might end up getting some pretty potential explosive move for GME. On the whale indicator on NCDX Plus, you have more and more whales. A little bit of decreased whale today, but retail stayed about the same. Still diminished much compared to just a couple weeks ago. And a couple other indicators. I mean, look at the wave trend also looking pretty bullish right now as well. If you look at a weekly time frame, you can see there's plenty of whales here on the weekly time frame. Just when price just went up a little bit, you actually have a lot of increasing whales momentum over here. You can also see that the trend wave oscillators also turn positive here on the weekly. On the weekly chart, I actually see a lot of really positive things. Including if I get first of all, including the Bollinger Band, you're going to see that I think around $32 is going to be a magnet for price to kind of push up as Bollinger Band continue to expand. You can see the upper Bollinger continue to go up, and I think that price is going to end up gravitating towards the upper Bollinger Band here in due time, if you will. I do want to show you something I didn't show you before. The orange over here was the 20-week moving average. Blue over here is the 50, right? So you have a bullish cross over here. You have a golden bullish cross over here on the 20 and 50. You really haven't had that for a very, very long time. The last time you had a bullish cross was at the beginning of the bull market around here, around September 2020, a couple of months before this big giant parabolic move up, right? You had a bearish cross over here in January 2022, and since then you haven't really had any bullish cross at all between the 20 and 50 until just a few weeks ago. That has just literally happened a few weeks ago. So that's something that's promising to think about. Whenever you have a bullish cross, it really tells you that it might be a pretty significant trend change that is happening. And another thing is, if you look at the 200-week moving average, we're reclaiming that. And it's pretty nice because last time you can see we're reclaiming the 200-week moving average, and things look pretty bullish afterwards, right? So it's something to consider. We also have found pretty decent support here on the Super Ichi Cloud on the weekly here. Hit a bullish cross here about 2 months ago. And then since then, price came back down, back tested the cloud, back tested the Tenkan Kijun, found support, and it bounced up. It looks like it might want to just keep going higher, is what I'm seeing. So there's a lot of really positive things that I'm looking at GME to make me think that I think it's probably going to end up doing pretty decent with due time. Even the weekly chart here with the EMA ribbon, with the 20 EMA over 50 EMA, you also have a bullish crossover here too. And with the Turtle Plus system here, you have a buy signal that happened with this big giant wick up above. You have a buy signal over there. And it looks like it's turning out pretty well because you are still having a development of overall a bull trend. Now, in addition to looking at all these things that are available in TradingView, you can also see my friend Danny Chang's chart on X with GME. What happened here is there's a daily chart here. You can see that this confirmed that whales are increasing and that retail are decreasing. This is from yesterday, by the way. But it's looking pretty decent. You have a MACD cross that's happening. You have RSI trending all, basically all stacking the right way. You have a bullish trend that's being developed over here. You have a red candle, which is a buy signal about 2 weeks ago right there. And it looks like it's playing out. Things are getting over the EMA ribbon that he has. And it looks like it probably wants to go higher in the short term is what his chart is showing too. So overall, I'm pretty bullish on this GME chart. I don't have anything bad to say about it. Even on the monthly, again, I keep saying this over and over again, you basically have like 40 something inside candle of this big giant green candle over here, and price just basically consolidating over here for about like 3 or 4 years. Because of that, this is a big giant bull flag, and because of this, you're going to end up having continuation of the primary trend after this flag is broken, and this surely is broken, isn't it? It looks very much a flag that looks like it's broken, and because it's broken, And because the trend is going up, and because this high over here is a higher high compared to the entire history of GME, and because this low over here is a higher low compared to the rest of the history of GME, the trend is up moving forward. How much further up are we going to go to a few hundred this cycle? Or is it just going to end up consolidating sideways for even longer period of time before going breaking up? I don't know, but it looks like a bigger move is coming. It looks like global liquidity is coming back in. It looks like we might be experiencing something that could be a little bit more bullish here moving forward. Anyway, just wanted to share my thoughts. I'm going to look at AMC while I'm at it. AMC on the daily chart is actually, relatively similar. You're having a pretty tight squeeze over here, just like you did over here. And it does look like things might want to break up to the upside here too. And it's kind of hard to imagine GME going really crazy up without AMC at least catching some, benefit from that, right? If you look at the weekly, it does look like it's trying to eat a lot of the supply up above here around this $5.50 range over here. It looks like it wants to break above. If anything, it does look a little bit like a head, like an inverted head and shoulder pattern look to it, or it looks like a little bit of like a cup and handle kind of pattern to it, doesn't it? So it looks like it wants to break above. Looking at the Bollinger Band here on the weekly, it does look like it's expanding. It does look like the 20-week moving average is pointing up, and it does look like price would probably want to gravitate up towards like around $6, and may continue as the weekly Bollinger Band continue to expand. So there are a lot of things that are looking quite bullish here. The only problem is the AMC chart still doesn't look nearly as bullish as the GME because you don't quite have the bullish cross of the 20 and 50. 50 is sloping very negatively. I wonder whether or not, even if you end up pushing above, you might end up getting rejected down back here. And this is very different from GME when it actually is getting above both the 20, 50, and 100, and it already had a bullish cross, right? So technically speaking, is lagging behind, and that's what it is, But on the Super Ichi, there is a little bit of bullish development here, which is that it flipped the weekly Tenkin here from resistance here to support. It looks like it wants to challenge maybe some of the higher levels up here eventually, but I just worried a little bit about the 50 being so negatively sloping, and that can potentially serve as pretty bad, resistance moving forward. Now, if you look at the weekly, unlike GME, where it actually looks like it's turning bullish here on the EMA ribbon, you need a buy signal here in the turtle trader view. You don't quite have that yet. You still have a big, giant, thick red ribbon that's still serving as resistance moving forward. So I don't have a stake really in either, but if I have to get into one, I would probably stick with GME. You still have the Ichimoku cloud above, you still have Tsubishi cloud above, you still have a lot of resistance, about 50 moving average coming down. Even on the regular Ichimoku cloud though, it does look like it wants to flip the Tenkin from resistance over here potentially to support over here for this week, right? So you do have some shorter time frame bullishness that might be happening, but I just think that in the longer term, like GME's chart, like it just looks a lot better. It's above the cloud. Here is like way below the cloud, so you end up getting a lot more resistance, especially as it enters this area over here in like August and September. You're going to enter a pretty thick cloud, which could potentially serve as, unfortunately, as resistance moving forward. So yeah, I just wanted to share with you my thoughts on GME and my thoughts on AMC again. And I do think that something big is still happening. And we'll see how long it takes for this Bollinger Band squeeze to play out. But I am, looking at this and I am thinking that maybe a bigger move is still to come, and it still hasn't transpired quite just yet. So we will see what happens whenever this trend line-ish kind of thing over here, whenever it breaks. Maybe we'll see some pretty crazy things that could be happening when it breaks. Anyway, that's all I have to say about GME and AMC. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye.